What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Trouble back with another video. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the second part of this series, which is going to be enhancements. Last time what we went over was the troop types, how they march, what their attributes are. Today we're going to be talking about enhancing those attributes and where might help you. Now what's good for me, again, might not be good for you, because the way that you fight is a different style of how I fight. Now some people are siege engine fighters, some people are cavalry fighters, some people are archer fighters, and the list goes on and on. There's a million ways that you can play this game. I'm just going to show you how you can look into how to find these ways. Now, what we explained last time, everybody knows that cav counter archer, infantry counter cavalry, archer counter siege engine counter infantry. If you did not know that and you did not watch my last video, you might want to go back and watch that video. That way you can catch up and learn on this video. So T9 troops, they enhance from 1 to 50 as far as enhancement types. T10 do the same, they enhance all the way up to 50 as well. T12 or T11 and T12, they enhance to 60, and T13 they enhance to level 80. So Knight Heraldry gets more and more expensive as you go along, so be aware of that. But without further ado, let's get on to the video and start talking about these enhancements. Now I'm going to go over each one of these enhancements, but some of these I'm just going to skip because it's just enhancing attacks or enhancing just simple defense. It's going to be a little bit of a long video, so just bear with me. I don't rehearse any of this. I don't have none of this wrote down, so I'm just going to kind of shoot from the hip. I never rehearse any of my videos really. So the first one's T9 siege engine. That's going to be defense and HP. The next one's going to be offensive damage reduction. So that's going to be basically a defense when attacking. Crush is going to be the next one on T9 siege, which this one right here is a little bit different. When attacking, have a chance to trigger the crush skill and inflict damage to 6 enemies nearby. Now you notice how this one right here in the very first column, at 20 it says 6 enemies, and on 21 it says 7 enemies. So as you go up in your enhancements, it's going to raise your chances or raise your damage to enemies, etc. And this is going to be something that's going to happen. You're going to notice this on a lot of troops. Load. Increase the troops' load and increase the damage caused by, or reduce the damage caused by infantry, including paladin. So that one right there is going to be an important skill if you're going to be going up against big players. The next one's going to be the T9 crossbow. T9 crossbow are amazing defenders. So whenever you start to notice, these skills are going to be aimed more towards defending your castle. So when the combat of defending a castle begins, launch 10 strikes first and have a chance to deal 50% damage to 3 targets. Now as you go up, it's going to go up again, just like we talked about with the siege engine. So this one right here is going to be defense. That's self-explanatory. Aiming, has a longer range and can deal an extra damage to grande siege. Heavy attack, that's going to be basically attack. Now this is going to be the T9 cavalry. First skill is random shot. When attacking, have a chance to attack 5 targets at a time and deal more damage. So this is going to be one of those skills that go from 4 to 5. I'm not sure exactly where they go from 4 to 5 at. Resource battle. So the T9 and the T12 cavalry are really good at resource battles. So they actually have a skill that you can enhance on resource battles. Charge. When attacking, increase the charge damage. So this is going to be one of those skills that is only on attack, and it's only for certain cavalry. So charge damage is only for certain cavalry, I mind you, and I just discovered this recently from Nitsy. So when attacking, increase charge damage and have a chance of attacking ranged units. Then you've got your T9 infantry, one of my favorite troops in this game. So sweep is going to be the first one. When attacking, have a chance to damage the nearby enemies, dealing 60% damage to a maximum of 5 targets. Increase attack, that's self-explanatory. Critical hit, have a chance of dealing a crit when attacking and inflict triple damage. Pike, increase the damage against cavalry, effective on the Griffin Knight. Also increases chance of ignoring the enemy's dodge odds. So that's going to be really nice. It's going to ignore their dodge chances. So on like cavalry, you'll notice that they have a dodge chance. This is going to ignore their chances at dodging your spears. So that's kind of the explanation on that. Then moving on to T10. So the T10 Siege have Boulder. For each attack, you will have a chance to attack 3 targets at a time, inflicting more 48.14% damage or 48% damage. Power attack, increase attack and ignore the enemy's dodge odds, but it reduces the attack speed. Increase, the next one is accumulated power. Increase the fire range significantly and deal an extra % damage to the paladin units. Now, whenever it says increase the range, this is going to be a troop that fires over their catapult. So they fire over the crowd. So they're a backlying troop, and they actually fire over the crowd and aim at the infantry. So whenever you think about this, it fires earlier than like, it's kind of like the skill that the T9 archer have. They start the battle early, that way they gain the advantage. Next one's going to be accumulated power, Next one's going to be offensive damage, which is obviously offensive damage. Alright, so next one's going to be the archer. Archer's going to have a double attack. When hitting the enemy, have a chance to deal continuous attacks. Damage to a maximum of 5 targets. So they're going to raise up in how many targets it hits. The next one's going to be puncture. Increase damage to all units except for infantry, including damage to the Supreme Legion. Focus. Have a chance to deal extra damage when attacking. Double attack. Double the attack speed, so they're going to attack faster and have an additional damage to the Grande Siege. Next one's going to be the cavalry. Trample. For each attack, you will have a 40% chance to attack 5 targets at a time and inflict damage. Deadly March. Increase damage to deal fire and greatly increase marching speed. Dodge. Have a chance to evade damage. So this is going to be that skill that I was talking about, that the T9 infantry have a chance to negate. So they dodge. The T9 infantry have a skill that if you max it out, you have a better chance at catching them on that dodge. Charge. Have a chance to release charge and attack the ranged units directly. Increases charge damage by a certain percent. Now, whenever Cav counter the archer, that's what they're talking about, is a chance to release the charge and attack ranged units. That's those ranged units that they're talking about. The infantry. So this is going to be the infantry shield. These are going to be detrimental to your marches and to your castle. So whenever you enhance these, I suggest you enhance them and have them up pretty decently high. Now, that's something that I kind of neglected on my castle, and we're working on right now. So on the first one, it's shield wall. Reduce damage received and have a chance that the damage received by all units is reduced by a certain percentage. Iron armor increases defense. Grit increases HP. Shield, reduce damage from archers and crossbowmen, including Delfire units. Boulder. This is on the T11 units. So this is the siege engine. It's a catapult unit again. Deals massive damage to 8 enemies at each attack and increases extra damage. So as you go up, I'm sure that it's going to go up to 9 enemies. Piercing shot. Increases damage dealt towards infantry. Advanced offensive damage. Increases offensive attack and slightly increases defensive attack. Power attack. Increases attack by a certain percentage and the chance of ignoring the enemy's dodge odds, but halves the attack speed. Next one's going to be one of my favorites, the T11 Archer. So just like the T9, it has kind of the same attributes, but they're going to be a little bit more focused on defending the castle and taking care of your defense. So before the battle, fires diffuse shots 10 times at crossbowman's damage. Every shot will attack 4 random units and increase extra damage. Increases defensive damage when defending. Increases crossbowman's attack and reduces the damage received. The next one's going to be the cavalry, the T11 cavalry. Random shot. Have a chance to attack 5 rear targets at a time. So the cavalry is going to aim at the archer, as always. Have a chance of 30%. Have a chance to miss damage. So it's going to be the dodge. This is going to be the advanced charge. It's going to deal charge damage, and it's also going to attack the ranged units, as said before with the T9 cavalry. Have a chance to deal triple damage. Sorry, I'm trying to leave the percentages out of this, so sorry guys. And then this is going to be the T11. So the T11 is going to have basically the same attributes as the T9 infantry. So it's going to have the piercing damage, the critical hit, the advanced pike. I'm not going to go through all of this, like I said, because I don't want to bore you guys to death. It is going to be a little bit longer video, but I'm just going to kind of go through some of this stuff and just go over the big stuff with you. So advanced damage taken, that's going to be just like before with the T9. Increases defense and HP. So then there's the T12. The T12 archers, the crossbowmen, and that's going to be the advanced puncture. Increases damage dealt to all units except shield soldier and the Supreme Legion is included. Advanced consecutive attacks. When hitting the enemy, have a chance to deal continuous attacks and deal damage to maximum of 5 targets. Now that, like before, that goes up. Critical strike, have a chance to activate when attacking. So that's that critical strike. From before, what that critical strike is it actually kills the enemy immediately. So you have a better chance of just killing them immediately. Flame arrow increases attack speed and increases damage dealt to siege engine. We're almost done, guys. This is going to be the cavalry. Advanced random shot. When attacking, have a 100% chance to attack 5 targets at a time. I'm sure that it goes up to... Oh, well, it's already almost max. So I think that it starts out at 4. So it deals damage. Fearless charge. When attacking, increases charge damage. Fleet feet. That's basically the same thing as T10. And then this one right here is going to be the resource battle. I'm sorry, T9. And then this right here is going to be the infantry, the T11 or T12 infantry. The T12 infantry are going to be your shield soldier, just like the T10. And then the first one's going to be advanced shield wall, reduced damage received, and then, you know, all the whatever. Increase HP. Starting to lose interest in this. I'm just going to run through it. And then we get into the interesting troops. Grande Siege. The T13s. Tons of crash power, can destroy an enemy in front of you. This is going to be that smash hit. Chance to ignore the defend of enemy. And Creed, chance of ignoring the enemy's dodge odds. Defense, when attacking, chance to deal damage to multiple enemy melee units. Blasphemy, attacking, you will have a chance to deal extra damage to multiple enemy melee units. Brutal collision, increased damage towards infantry. Then you're going to have the other siege, the other T13 siege. War elephants. Kind of went over this before, but I'm just going to touch on this. It's got the trample together and make the enemies dizzy. Uses invincible might, increases HP. You will also increase your soldiers' HP every 5,000. Elephants will increase by 1% up to 20%. And I'm sure that goes up as the enhancements go up. So I'm thinking that it probably goes up to the amount. Golden armor. Wearing golden armor, it takes the damage that all other units are supposed to receive. Tusk spurt. This is going to damage the enemy melee units in 2 random rows. So any troops that march in a straight row, that kind of makes sense because T13 infantry march in a straight row. So these are going to attack enemy melee units in 2 random rows. So it'll damage them if they are layered. Then there's the Delphi. The hot oil quickly sinks into the giant battering ram. Damage towards Grande Siege increases by a certain percent. Hot oil will leak into the enemy's armor, and Howls of Anguish spread across the battlefield. The attack will have a chance to burn the target and deal damage based on the current attack. Lasts for 3 rounds. I'm sure that it goes all the way up to 5 rounds. Multiple strikes. That's going to be basically attack. Aiming. Basically attack. And then on to the cavalry. The Griffin Knight. Tear their enemy into pieces, break claw, lift them, drop off when attacking, have chance to add bleeding effect. The bleeding effect will deal damage based on the current attack, lasts for 4 rounds. I think that it starts out at 3 rounds. Slaughter. Strike the rear enemy above, causing damage to the target and an additional 5 more ranged units. Enjoy the bonus cavalry charge. Rapidly flapping wings, hurricanes around the troops to avoid normal damage. Dodge rate. The wind speed affects parabola. Increases damage towards Delfire. Increased attack. And then the infantry. Like I said, they march in a straight line. The paladin put all his holy power into the giant hammer, causing damage to the target, an additional 5 more ranged units. It starts out at 4, at 51 it goes to 5. Blessing. The paladin units have been thoroughly trained many years, thus making them strong and both physically and mentally. When being attacked, have a chance to reduce damage from the other enemy. Sanction. When attacking, increase the chance of ignoring the enemy's dodge odds. Increase damage towards Griffin Knights. And then this one's basically damage towards cavalry and attack. So, thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I appreciate this. I just got so many requests to do a video on enhancements and on T13 troops and what they do and how the enhancements situation works. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time. Tune in next time for hero enhancements. So next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over what the heroes do and what's the best way to utilize their skills. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and a thumbs up. And if you do not have a subscription to me yet, go on ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Peace.